that first year, I was terrified of everybody. I couldn't look anybody in the eye. I couldn't. I'd walk into like a counter at a restaurant or at a coffee shop, and I was like terrified to just give them my order. Like I was fucking terrified of people. I thought
Your fitness, and we have my man, the legend himself, long time trying to make this happen, Mr. Mitch Ammons. How we doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good, man.
How's
Glad to
everything
be
going?
here. Good.
Good,
Yeah.
dude. So years ago, I submerged myself into the Austin running community, and it absolutely transformed my life, my recovery,
Yeah.
everything about it. And I started hearing this name, and it was this other guy, and he was in recovery, and he was really good at running. And lo and behold, it was you. So it's taken a couple years for us to get acquainted, but we finally have, man. And I couldn't have been happier to sit down and talk with you and see just how aligned we are in everything and experience and everything like that. So pleasure to have you, dude. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I'm super glad to be here. I'm also excited because I do think we have a whole lot in common.
Right.
Like different, but like the same, right?
Right.
It's cool. We ended up in the exact same spot.
Hell yeah. And the one, so before we jump into that, I sat down with you and I see this elite runner. I see this amazing dude. He's out there real estate doing all these big things. And so this you now, I would have never have thought of what it used to look like for you back then. So if you could, just for people who may not know who you are, your story, a little bit about yourself, and then like go back to like, where did all that kind of start for you as far as addiction, alcoholism? Like what was it for you?
Yeah. I don't actually know the answer to that question. I've kind of connected some dots, and I'll talk about it after I just kind of touch on the whole story. But yeah, I grew up in Dallas, never wanted or needed anything. My parents were super supportive and loving and took care of me and got me whatever I wanted and needed. Like I never needed or wanted anything. Great childhood. Had lots of friends, family very present, extended family very present. And then, I made a decision in the 7th grade that I wanted to be the bad kid. I was at a Catholic a Catholic middle school, and there were these 2 kids that came from public school in the 7th grade, and they were bad. And I was like, they got so much attention, and I was like, I want to be like them. So, sort of a theme of my life, I inserted myself right next to them, and I just did what they did. And sure enough, I was a bad kid. I think there were me and one other guy, so 2 people out of the whole class that didn't get into. It was Jesuit high school in Dallas. It was just me, and actually it was three of us. It was me and the 2 guys from the public schools, and we didn't get in. And they had actually come to that school so that they could go feed into Jesuit, but we didn't get in. So I was a bad kid. I think I started smoking. Them 2, and then I had met a couple other friends, my best friends, almost still to this day, at another middle school, Catholic middle school, and we were like the bad kids. So we linked up and we smoked cigarettes and stole liquor from our parents in like the 7th grade. I think I smoked weed for the first time summer after 7th grade. Dabbled in it over 8th grade and stealing liquor from the liquor cabinet. But freshman year in high school, I was free. I had freedom now, not really, but I thought I did. I was, for some crazy reason, allowed to drive. I turned 15 the summer before freshman year. My parents had bought me a car the year before, and they just let me go. They just said, go ahead.
Really?
And,
Damn.
Freshman year, if I was driving, I was drinking, because like that was our place. We could like not be
Freshman in high school.
Freshman in high school, yeah. We had no parents watching us when we were out driving. So it was me and like a couple of my friends. Again, the bad kids that are a couple of them are still my great friends to this day. Most of them have turned it all around. One of them hasn't. He's still out there, but yeah.
So you literally learned to drive.
I learned to drive in the
drinking.
8th grade. I learned to drive in the 8th grade. Actually, kind of funny, which is some foreshadowing. My dad made a deal with me when I went into 8th grade. He said, if you break 5 minutes in the mile, I'll buy you a car. 5 minutes in the mile back then for an 8th grader was very fast.
Yeah.
But I did it. I broke 5 minutes. He bought me a car. I wasn't allowed to drive it. I got to like drive it a couple times when they were in it. But when I went to high school and I turned 15, They're like, you technically can learn now. You can go. They let me go. So I was like, I had the cool parents also. That was, we had throughout high school. My house was the party house. And my parents were responsible parents. My dad's a surgeon. My mom was an operating room nurse. Like, they were good, solid parents. But I think their whole thing was like, we'd rather them do it here than elsewhere. But once everyone starts drinking and they start drinking and we just like go to the car, put our beer in the cup holder, and we're like, see you later, we're going to the movies. We would never go to the movies. We'd go to the parking lot and we'd sit out there and meet other friends and drink. And so that was great. I had a great time doing that. I think freshman year, I was a pretty much an everyday smoker, a weed smoker at that point. But sophomore year is when it really, I had my license at this point. I had met some of the upperclassmen. A couple of my friends had older brothers. That's where it all kind of came from. We saw the older brothers and I was like, I want to be like them. They smoked weed. They took pills. I was like, yes. So sophomore year, I started using some pills, Xanax, ecstasy, cocaine. And really from there, that was the point where it just started to get bad. I didn't see it then because I was still having a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun all through high school. High school was nuts. Friday after school, I had a job on the weekends, and over the summers, I worked at a sandwich shop and I was a lifeguard. My parents paid for most of my stuff, and so when I got that paycheck on Friday, I went straight to my drug dealer's house. I bought a bag of Coke, a bag of weed, and some Xanax, and picked up a 12-pack, and I was set through the weekend. Like, that was, I looked forward, like as an adult, I look forward to Friday. Well, not really, but that thing you think about when you think of Friday, that was me in like sophomore, junior, senior year of high school. It's like, I just can't wait till Friday. I'm going to go get my drugs and my booze and I'm going to have a great time. Right. And we had so much fucking fun.
Dude, this is I mean, usually the people you start talking to as far as substance abuse, I didn't start getting into hard drugs until I was out of high school. But the fact you're drinking at freshman year and you're already hard drugs, cocaine and stuff at sophomore year is a quick.
I think the second I got my license is when we started doing cocaine. Really? And it was all of this, and I know people will argue that weed is not a gateway drug. All of these drugs that we were introduced to was from our one weed dealer that we first started buying weed from when we were young. He's like, oh, you like this? You should try this. You like this? You should try this.
Dude, can you imagine, just for a second, imagine a 15-year-old boy walking up to you to buy cocaine and you sell it to him.
I am I had a friend, and who cares? I had a friend in high school, and her dad, it was her stepdad, he was 55 years old. He used to do coke with us all the time while we were in high school. I was like, looking back now as an adult, I'm like, that is fucking insane. Yeah, if a kid, an underage kid was like, hey, come blow a line with me, I'd be like, absolutely not. You need to go to school or whatever.
Right.
Unbelievable.
This is a complete side note, and I don't mean to sidetrack your story, but beginning of the football season, we're going to watch out to watch some football. And my wife, of all people, was like, hey, do you want to go to, what's the one? It's not Hooters. It's the new Hooters. Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
She's like, you want to go to Twin Peaks? And I'm like, I mean, if you do, I'll go there. That's fine with me. Mm-hmm. And we go in there, and bro, as soon as we walk in, I officially feel old now. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as we walk in, it's all these girls, college girls, short shorts, boobs out and all that. And I'm sitting there the whole time, I'm like, God, these are babies. These are little babies. Yeah. And I mean, they're old enough to be doing and all that stuff, but it's like, damn, I've hit that age now where like you see kids that are 20, 17, 18, 19, you're like, oh my God, they're children. Man. So to think of selling them hard drugs is fucking crazy.
That's a realization I've had a lot lately. Bro, we're old.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It is tough. Anyway, high school was great. Senior year, it got hectic. I barely graduated. I made great grades, but my senior year, I just didn't go. Like, I just quit going to school. I had gotten kicked out of the private Catholic school that I went to like a month before my junior year was over. I had run track until that moment, and I was decent. I wasn't ever great. I was decent at it. I knew that if I could have applied myself, I could have been better, but I was partying. Senior year was at the public school, had some new friends, still old friends, but it really just kind of went crazy. I was drinking after school on weekdays, smoking weed all throughout. I think after freshman year, I smoked every single day, morning, noon, and night, all day long. I'd smoke on the way to school. If I could, I'd leave during lunch and go smoke in the parking lot, and then I'd definitely smoke when I left school. And Anyway, fast forward 2008. I go to college. I'm like, okay, I'm turning this shit around. Like, I'm gonna quit doing drugs. I'm just gonna drink beer because that was like safe. It worked for like half a semester, and I had fun. I wasn't ever like worried about it. But I was also like wanting to make good grades, and I was out partying all the time. My roommate had used drugs a long time as well in high school, but his thing was like oxycodone or hydrocodone and oxycodone. But so like drugs that like slow you down. So that's where I was introduced to opiates, was my freshman year of college, and it was like presented to me as like, here, you can do this and you won't go out and party. You'll sit at home and you can study or whatever you want to do, and you'll be completely content. And I'm like, great, I'll give it a try. That was the end. That was the end right there. Like, that's where the beginning of the end was.
Right.
That first time I tried oxycodone, which is Oxycontin. I skipped the whole hydrocodone thing. I never even messed with it. I went straight to oxycodone. I think the first
40s,
time,
80s, what'd you do?
I think they were probably like the orange 40s in the beginning, and then obviously the 80s were all. Bro, I remember paying $80 or $90 for an 80 milligram pill.
$1 a milli.
Yeah, bro.
I was the heroin. When I went to the $1 a
that's what
milli, I
did
went
it,
to heroin.
man. That's what did it. Was $80 a pill? I'm going to heroin.
Yeah.
You can get a fucking fat sack for $80.
Yeah.
Anyway, I immediately fell in love with opiates. I could sit at home and be completely content. I was confident. I was fine with who I was. I had, it was just incredible. So I snorted it for the first time. I think after a couple of times of using it, I started like freebasing it off tinfoil. And that's where it like crash landing downhill, because that's, in my opinion, and I've done it every which way. I've smoked it, shot it, snorted it, put it up my butt, everything. Smoking it.
You boofed an oxy?
No, I would do like, when I couldn't find a vein, I would just take the needle off and just,
Yeah, gotcha. Gotta get it in there
somehow. Yeah, somewhere. It made me feel better. Yes, smoking it is the most addicting / the worst withdrawals I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, smoking it. I think it hits you so immediately and it goes away so quickly that I think that's how you measure. Like, the withdrawals are going to be worse when it ends up being like that. I think that's why crack withdrawals are awful, like mentally so horrible. But yeah, I remember waking up one morning, this was sophomore year. I had used all through high school. I think I went to rehab the first time. Sorry, not high school, freshman year. I went to rehab the first time in the middle of freshman year. I came back for sophomore year. I had no intention of quitting. I wanted to stop using oxys, but I wanted to keep doing all the other drugs. This started this cycle of, I probably went to rehab once a year for the next 6 years. I went to jail 6 times. I've been to jail, 11 times. I've been charged with 6 different felonies on 6 different occasions, all drug possession. 1 theft charge. I used to steal clothes from Nordstrom, walk out of the store, get in my car, drive to another Nordstrom, and return it for cash. I did that 100 times, and they caught me.
Oh, they give you cash?
Yeah, you give you cash. Nordstrom you don't have to have a receipt. They won't say, hey, let's put it back on the credit card you use. No, they'll just give you cash. And I knew that because I worked there years before that. Yeah. Anyway, that was all just the touching on the rough parts. It was ups and downs, and mostly downs. Like, well, I had a great time for a long time. It was just towards like getting unmanageable when it was no longer fun. Like, when I was a slave to the drug, I was no longer having fun. But I woke up one morning and my roommate was sitting there, and I was like, bro, I had no idea what rehab was. I was like, bro, I think I'm going to need to go to rehab. Like, I can't stop. Like, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm dry heaving until I can get that first hit. It got to a point where I had to wake up in the middle of the night, or I wouldn't make it to the morning without fucking vomiting or dry heaving. And that went on for the next 7 years. Quit very quickly after oxycodone. I started using heroin.
Are you doing any running throughout this time?
No, absolutely no running, no fitness. I ate like garbage. I probably ate candy bars for dinner. And I still went to class sometimes. I made it through a semester with like 3 credit hours, 1 class that I'd go next year, maybe get 2 classes done or next semester. I'll get back to that because I did go back to college. But yeah, that was a very rough start. Let's see, where was I going? Yeah, I mean,
You're saying I think I need to go to rehab
yeah,
without knowing what it
yeah.
was.
That's it. So I was like, yeah, I think I need to go to rehab. I had realized that there was no way I was stopping on my own, and this was very, very early, long before I stopped. So the next 7 years was rehabs, jails. I ended every single line I said I wouldn't cross. I crossed. I said I'd never smoke crack. I said I'd never shoot up. I said I'd never rob someone. I said I'd never, whatever it was. I said I'd never do it, and I did it all. I think the biggest, trying oxy for the first time was one of the biggest turning points. The next one was shooting up cocaine. That was like another one that was just game over. It was a whole nother level of addiction and fiending and like fiending for a fix than I had ever had.
Dark.
Yeah, dark.
That was my.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I started shooting coke and it was off to the fucking races.
Off to the races. And man, I'll tell you, when I did get sober, the multiple times, but even the most recent, trying to get that feeling out of my head was by far the hardest. Yeah, the heroin, the feeling of like, I mean, it's fucking incredible, but like I forgot about it. Like I forgot what it was like. I couldn't like close my eyes and imagine what that high was like. I can close my eyes today and remember what that rush of a shot of cocaine is like, or a shot of meth, or whatever.
Hear that train coming?
Yeah, that was very hard to like get over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I look back now, and it's so significant because it's this. I have the same issues today. All I wanted was friends, people to care about me, people to share my time with, a community. That's all I ever wanted. I found it young with the bad kids because all I had to do was be a bad kid too, and they accepted me. I found it with the drug addicts because all I had to do was use drugs, and they accepted me. I found it with it got so crazy, and I'm sure you know all about this, but I was in literal crack houses with like ex-gangsters, ex-Bloods, ex-Crips. Like these people were lifelong criminals, been in and out of the system, never like straightened up, just always gonna be a criminal, always gonna sell crack, smoke crack, sell heroin.
Yeah.
And I used to hang there all the time. Like the ghettoest parts of Dallas. I'd go to Fair Park or Oak Cliff, and I'd be this white guy driving my dad's car, pulling up to this crack house, and I'd go in there and stay over there for 3 days, and I'd just hang out with these guys.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Dude, real quick, that's how I felt when I walked into prison. Like, these are not, I'm not supposed to be here. These are not my people. I don't get down like this. But I'll tell you, when I got out of prison and then I started getting high again, dude, I'm here in Austin hanging out with the homeless guys that are flying signs on the corner of Altorf. Like, those are my people.
Oh.
And then like helping them
Absolutely.
they're helping me score crack, and we're going back behind the fucking laundromat fucking at their homeless camp, and here I am like, bro, my mother's a PhD. You know what I mean? My father was a steel worker. I was raised in a good family.
Yeah.
But here I'm hanging out with the homeless peeps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're my boys. So exact same shit.
I relate to that completely, and that's why the homeless is a whole another thing that I could talk about forever. But because of my experience, if I had a little corner and I had my spoon and my needles and my drugs, it doesn't matter where I am. I could be under a bridge. I'm fucking content as can be. I never was homeless. I mean, I couch surfed, and there were times where my parents were like, "You cannot come home here. You cannot come here." I spent a couple of nights, I'd say, outside, but not because I had to, but because I was in an alleyway and I was just shooting up all night long, and I was completely content. These little camps, if I back in my using days, I would have thought it was heaven. I got all these people around me, all using as well. We're all just talking about using. That's all we do. And then during the day, we go panhandle to get more money, to get more drugs. That was basically what I was doing, just sort of at a different level. Like my whole day when I woke up in the morning is, how am I going to get more money? How am I going to get more drugs? And that was all I did. I will say, I've realized this like after sobriety and in my career and in running, is that I'm definitely not a perfectionist, but I obsess over things. Like that whole obsession that I had over drugs, I obsess over other things as well. I obsess over my career. I obsess over running. I can get obsessive over my weight. I think all of those things are assets to me now in sobriety. However, back then it wasn't. But my need to be the best, I was the best drug addict. I used the most drugs. I was going to take it the furthest because I want them to think I'm cool. And it's the same thing today. And I see so many similarities. And I do think what kept me addicted is what makes me good at what I'm doing today. It makes me good at running, and it makes me good at sales, and I think it's my biggest asset today.
Yeah.
It was my biggest detriment back then. It's my biggest asset today.
We could not be more aligned, bro. Literally everything you're saying.
I know we're gonna tell the exact same story because it's like that's how it goes.
And that's one of my main, if there's a tactful way to get people to understand that they're able to tap into it in a healthy manner.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Now, obviously, we have to be able to find that balance.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But I think the big thing before to now is like I didn't have the proper tools.
Absolutely.
To understand, like when I'm getting fucked up, I don't know what to do. All I know is I'm good at obsessing over things. I'm good at doing the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm good at taking the levels other people won't go.
Right.
But once I got the tools, the community, the program, like all these different tools, it's like, all right, now I know how to keep those in check. Now I can apply this shit in good ways.
Absolutely.
And so
even just the awareness to know, because I get squirrely, and not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to go drink or I'm going to go use, but like I get vindictive and I get jealous and I get overwhelmed. And I take my obsessions too far. Sometimes with work, I'll work myself to death. I'll run myself to death. Like all of these things, I really have to have the awareness, like, is it still an asset? Am I still growing, or is it now a detriment and it's bringing me down? Am I running too much? Am I working too much? Am I so obsessed with this deal that like my wife is in the background, like, what the fuck, right? Like,
Dude,
there are a lot of things but like you just said, I've got the tools now. Like I can take a step back, look around and say, okay, I got to just chill over here. Like I can do that. It's okay. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to lose the deal. I'm not going to get out of shape. Like all of these things, like back then never would have happened. There was no negotiation. It was just all in or all out.
Right. So let me ask you, because I think, we've spoke before and you know where I'm going with this, but for me, like, I didn't understand that I had that mindset yet. You know what I mean? It was only a negative thing to me.
Correct.
And so, for a very vain reason, I wanted to lose a couple pounds. I look in the mirror, don't like who I am. I found this newfound sobriety, but hate who the fuck I am. So I'm going to go run to lose a couple pounds. And I start going and doing that, and then I catch the bug. Well, what it tapped into me was I was able to be competitive I forgot how competitive I was. And that re-sparked that.
Yeah.
And so now I have this obsessive mindset, and I'm walking into these new run groups and immediately identifying there's the fast guy. There's the fast guy. Well, now I'm in strict competition with him.
Yeah.
He has no idea.
No.
And he's not going to know until I'm about as fast as he is. Then all of a sudden he's going to know who the fuck I am. But it was able to tap into that where every run I could identify as like, all right, he's a little faster than me, and I could chase.
Yeah.
And I could chase and obsess over that. And that's what got me good at running, like all those things. And then that's what brought me into this community that I didn't know I needed so much. But running was already a part of your life and everything like that.
I mean, when I was a kid, I ran until my junior year of high school. After that, I didn't run again for a decade.
Okay. And so then you newfound sobriety or whatever, you were able to tap back into it?
Identical to you.
Yeah.
I was new in sobriety. I'd been sober like a year and a half. I was sober, but that was the only positive thing I was doing. I was on a trajectory going up, but nothing else had turned. It was just sobriety. I ate awful. I drink sodas now, but that's all I drank was sodas. And I was fat and I was out of shape and I was honestly disgusted with myself. I remember it almost perfectly. I was on the couch. I was living in this like double wide on the east side back when the east side was not what it is now.
Yeah.
My roommate and I, we paid $800 a month together combined for our 2-bedroom, 1-bath double wide on 12th Street.
Okay.
Yeah, it was legit. Back when that's where the hookers used to be.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there and I was sober and like I was thinking, I used to go to the Greenbelt every day. I was like a hippie. My hair was like down to my nipples.
Really?
And I was like, oh yeah, Greenbelt, bro. But I went down and I was sitting on the couch one day. I was like talking to my best friend. I was like, hey, I think I want to date like a fit girl, like a fitness girl. And he looks at me. He's like, bro, you looked in the mirror. Why would a fitness girl date you? And I'm like, fuck, you're right.
Right.
And so like the next day, I think I literally was like, I'm gonna go to the. I had this friend, a girl that was a friend, and she was like a runner, and she would run on the treadmill and stuff. And I was like, I think I could go run on a treadmill, 30 minutes. I'll give it a go. I went and did it. I ran probably like 3 miles, like 10-minute miles. I ran 3 miles. I was like, holy shit, I haven't run in a decade. I was like, okay. So I didn't quite get into running yet, but I did get into like HIIT training boot camps. I had already had the thought of like, what I want to join something. I want to join a group. And so I was walking my dog through Auditorium Shores one time, and there was this hit training group. And I walked up and I'm smoking a cig, and I've got my dog. And I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? Like, this looks cool. Y'all are doing like push-ups and, stuff like. I was like, he's like, yeah, this is organic fitness and training. You should come out. We meet every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was like, great, I'll come tomorrow. I showed up. My chest hurt so bad, I never smoked another cigarette. I quit right then and there. I chewed tobacco. For the next decade, but cigarettes were fucking hard to stop.
Yeah.
They were so hard. Actually, last February, I smoked my first cigarette in I think 11 years or something, or 10 years. But I now smoke one for a celebration every once in a while, and man, they're good. They're so good, bro. Wow.
Every once in a while, I'll smell somebody spark one up, and I'm like, God damn, that smells
love
good.
a cigarette. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I drink sodas, I drink Diet Coke. I'm just like, there's a reason. I last year in February, I ran in the 2024 Olympic trials for the marathon. The previous 5 years were like completely consumed with training and trying to get to that level.
Yeah.
I had changed everything, my diet. I was so religious about my strict schedule. And I ended up getting there. It took me 3.5 years. I qualified for the trials. Once I ran in the trials, I was like, great. I actually, basically right out of the finish chute, I lit up a cigarette. And I was like, fuck it. Because it was a celebration. It was like symbolic. But since then, I have been way more relaxed about my diet, about my... I'm still very disciplined with my training, but I'm not as hard as myself on some of the little things.
Would have some fun with it.
I have some fun with it. And nothing has changed.
Yeah.
I feel just as good. I run just as fast. I train just as hard. So my point, it doesn't have to be freaking crazy. And that was the obsession. And I think being a little more relaxed with that was pretty huge for me, because I've never been relaxed about anything. Like, right. I'm always like, I'm like vibrating. I'm so fucking.
Dude, we're saying the same for everything.
Yeah.
But it was a I got into running first, and then I segued into the gym for a while, and then I had this in my head. I got to be in there for 2 hours,
right.
like 6 days a week, one rest day. And then now, like, life has changed.
Yeah.
This has been years, you know what I mean? Business has gotten more. Mm-hmm. So my schedule isn't the same. And it's like, now I'm able to get to the gym 3-4 days a week. Before, dude, my life would have been a wreck.
Yeah.
If I'm missing a day, it's fucking, I can't do it.
That's the same. Yeah.
Now it's like, I can go to now I have a healthy relationship to the gym, where it's like, all right, today business is taking precedence. Can't hit it today. It still fucks with me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like the world is going to end. I'm going to lose all my muscle because I lose one day of the gym or something like that. And it's like, all right, wait a minute.
I was exactly like that. The way that I got there was I had to be okay with my priorities changing. Mm-hmm. So even to this day, I'm training as hard as I can for this marathon that I'm running in December. But my job is very demanding these days. Like the last couple of years, my job has gotten extremely demanding. I do not let running get in the way of my job anymore. I used to. Running was the priority. Now I get all my work done, and then if I have time, which I'll make time. I ran last night at like 8 p.m. in the pitch dark. My double, I ran late, and it was really annoying, but I did it, and it wasn't bad, and I finished it, and I was like, great, I'm glad I did that. So my point is that priorities change, and it's okay to let some of those things. Like if I have to miss a day of running for work, it's okay. I'm not, but like you said, it was like a catastrophic thing to me a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. Like it would have not worked out. And so I think that's growth altogether, right? Yeah.
I also think, bro, number one, early sobriety, dude, I think is so important to get some wins up under your belt.
For sure.
To understand that you're capable of doing more than just getting fucking high.
Absolutely.
Whether it's just showing up to a workout, just showing up to a run, talking to somebody, like all these things are little wins. And so like the recovery community, everybody focuses on these other things. And it's just like, man, if you incorporate a little bit of running, a little bit into the gym, it teaches you so many more valuable lessons that you're just not going to learn in these other things. Not saying that's bad about them. You know what I mean? But
dude, so spot on. The little wins. And the thing about fitness and running is you can see the wins. They're tangible. There's numbers, right? Like you run a 10-minute mile one week, the next week you come run 9:30. That is clear evidence of progression in the right direction. That is a small win, and it lights me up with dopamine. Dude. That is such a great point. And early on, I think that's why I got so hooked on it. Like literally just like you. I did it for the girls and I got the bug. And it was being able, I had never felt successful or accomplished, or I just never felt like I was accomplishing anything.
Right.
Like that
I
was
existed.
plain. Yeah. I was just there to float around and get high and mooch off other people. Like I was a leech.
Yep.
Bro, that is profound right there. Like the little wins, and you can measure the wins in fitness so easily because it's all numbers, right? Like you can, that's huge. Yes. Spot on.
Dude, I showed up to my first run and I did exactly like you're saying. I did my first 2 mile run. I show up with this huge ego. I see 30 men or women.
Yeah.
My ego's huge because I'm a high school athlete. I fucking play basketball.
Same.
They don't got shit for me. And then I suffer through this 2 mile run, lungs on fire. Every step of the way, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But I got done, dude, and I felt this sense of accomplishment that I couldn't remember the last time I felt this. So it's like, I want to feel this again. And then by the time my 2 miles went to 3 miles, within that week, I've put the cigarettes down immediately because it's not making me a better runner.
Correct.
And so now I tapped this addict mind into something else. Yeah. And it was a beautiful thing because, like, bro, I remember on the days where I wouldn't be running that day and I'm driving down the road, and Austin is such an active city. I'm driving through downtown and there's motherfuckers running everywhere. And I'm like,
all the time.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
They're getting better. I got to get out there.
Yeah.
But that was... People might think that's unhealthy, but for a fucking drug addict that wants the easy way out of everything, now it's like, no, I need to get home. I need to get my shoes. I need to get out there for a run. And it's like getting these little wins, or even getting the feeling of like, no, I need to get out there. Like,
and then doing it and then feeling accomplished is like the biggest reward ever.
Dude,
it's so good.
Dude, you meet these new people. I didn't know that we could hang out with I thought we had to hang out with recovery people forever.
Right. Oh, forever. That's all I hung out with for the first 3 years. That's it.
So... You've been to treatment. Sounds like you did the program and all that stuff. Looking back at your entire journey, what do you think was like the one biggest key that helped you get sober?
Get sober?
Biggest tool. The theme of which we have been talking about.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't know how I got sober. I got sober because I listened to them and they told me what to do and I did it. Now, staying sober and my quality of life, it's all I was ever looking for was community. Like that is hands down. And in my opinion, anyone who's struggling is really, I mean, obviously there's reasons why someone wouldn't need this, but like community is everything. Like having a support group, having friends, having people that are interested in the same things, build you up, support you, like people you can talk to about whatever. Community saved my life, like by far. And I thought it was running, but it's the community that I found in running. Like I don't even really like running. I like when I'm finished and I like feeling accomplished and I like looking at my watch and be like, oh, that was sick. But I do not enjoy actually running. I run every day, usually, especially when I'm training for a marathon. I think 5 days a week, I run twice a day. Every single one of my morning runs, I'm with at least one person, if not a group. My evening runs are a little different because I kind of just got to get them in when I can after work. But yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't do it if I was alone. If I lived in a remote area, I would not be running. Right. I can tell you that. Maybe, no, I don't even think in the beginning. Like, I never did it because I wanted to run. I did it because I wanted to look better and I wanted friends. Like, it started with looking better. Then it was like, well, I love these people because we have so much in common. I talk about this in any chance I get. Running, it's fucking hard no matter which way you look at it. No matter what. Running is hard. The people that tend to do it put themselves in difficult situations, facing hard things. They're usually successful in other aspects of their life. They're usually quality people. If you can work hard in running, you're most likely working hard other places, academically, in your job, like whatever it is. I think it creates those habits because I also think I was lazy. I was like lazy. And I'm probably still lazy, but I'm disciplined now. And I learned discipline through running, through training. My first marathon training block taught me so much because, we are like instant gratification people. Like I want a shot in my vein that hits me like that. Yeah. And I don't want to wait for anything. When I want something, I want it now. Running and training has taught me that like what I'm doing now, I don't see any results for months.
Mhm.
You know, like even this full training block where I'm running 120 miles a week, I'm going to see some results on December 7th, but like the big results come in the next block, right? Like all of this work is going to really pay off when I train for another marathon.
Hold on. How many weekly miles are you doing?
I run like, I think I've had 5 weeks at 115 and I've now hit 120.
Damn, for a
I think
road marathon.
Yeah, 121 last week.
No shit.
I'm gonna hit another 120 this week. I'll go back down to 115 next week, and then I'll kind of start to taper. Yeah, it's
Oh, there's a lot of ultra runners that are not doing that amount of weekly miles for 100
Yeah,
mile race for
that's
100-mile races.
yeah. I think
Which I've never understood, because I've always been like, I'd rather do more.
yeah,
So when it comes to race time, it
Right.
feels a lot easier.
absolutely.
But I'll see people, they'll do a 100K as their long run for their 100-miler coming up.
I think high mileage is it's a tough line to walk, because through the years I've been running now for almost 10 years competitively, or 8 years or 9 years competitively. Mileage has been the biggest way I've gained fitness ever, like ability, or not fitness, because I get fit either way, but I got better when I increased my mileage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically conditioning your legs, at it creating adaptations in your blood vessels and your muscles, just basically being more efficient at getting oxygen to your muscles. Like that is literally what the mileage does. So you're just doing it every single day and you adapt. It's an adaptation. It's very, very easy to get injured when you do that. Like
Mhm.
I have been right on the edge. I've never been like truly injured where I've had to stop, but I've had to like dial it back and like nurse an injury, definitely. But yeah, mileage was the game changer for running. High
Really?
mileage, yeah. But you got to be so careful.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of overuse stuff.
And you
all
also,
that.
I mean, and I did it over 8 years. Like I didn't start this way. I think the first time I hit 100 miles, the first training block that I hit 100 miles, I think I just did 1 week, hit 100. Then the next training block, I did like 3 weeks at 100 and then went back down. And then the next week I did 4 weeks at 100 and 1 at 105. And then the next time, just kind of building each time.
Yeah.
There's like a formula or something on how to increase mileage, but you just do a little bit at a time. It was the most helpful, beneficial aspect of my training, for
Right.
sure.
Dude, mine's the exact same thing. Like, so many things. God, obviously, huge part. The program, huge part. Doing
Huge.
step work,
Yeah.
treatment, all that stuff
All
played
of
a
it.
huge part. But at the end of the day, dude, the community is what has kept me sober.
Yeah.
It's something. It was the first thing that and it's just like you're saying. At first, I attributed it to running. Running saved my life.
Yeah. I talked about that 100 times.
Then it was the woman that introduced me to running. She saved my life.
Absolutely.
Then I
Yeah.
continued to take steps back and was like, all right, wait, God put this woman that put running into my life. And so here we go. But at the end of the day, it's like God gave me this community.
For sure.
Because now for the first time
Which is a power greater than you. I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
100%, dude. And it's now finally have this thing where I'm so excited to wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
to go get with these people,
Yeah.
to go run,
absolutely.
to do these things. And I started my run group on Saturdays, Redemption Crew Run, specifically for those people.
Well, and guess what? You hold them accountable and they hold you accountable.
Mhm.
If you're not there, they're missing you. If they're not there, then you're like, hey, where are these people? Like it's accountability, and it's
There's
in the most healthy way. I would.
There's been many of Saturdays where I do some speaking event Friday night.
Yeah.
I get back late where I would not go run Saturday, but I have a run group now. All those
Right.
people are showing up. I got to be there.
Yeah.
There's days where I kind of feel injured, where I can definitely talk myself out of running that day, but
Mhm.
these people are going to show
You're
up.
right. That's
And
right.
so like getting people to understand, like, yeah, it's fucking hard. It's fucking scary. It's scary to show up. Nobody's a runner when they first start off.
Right.
But runners are some of the most accepting, fucking warming
Absolutely.
people ever, where it's like they just want you to come out and run with them.
Correct.
And people, their first question is always, I'm like, hey, I'd love to have you Saturday run group. How far you run?
Yeah.
How far you run? It's like, don't worry about the distance.
Uh-huh.
We're out there for community.
Yeah.
It's more, if we got to stop and walk, we'll stop and walk.
Yeah.
We stop and get water, we stop and get water.
We go as slow as the slowest person.
Yeah, nobody gets left behind, and
Yeah.
so it's just getting people to get over that hump. But
Mhm.
the community of, we are so blessed to live in Austin, Texas.
We are. It's
and
huge.
to have the running communities that we do.
I also think, and I have been in a lot of running communities over the years because I've bounced around for training and for altitude camps and for areas cities that have more races than other cities. And I think Austin is so unique that everyone wants everyone to succeed.
Mhm.
Like even obviously like at a race, like I'm like, okay, well I want to beat this person, but like at the end of the day, I want us to both do great. Like
Yeah.
we're both working at a personal goal. Like it's all personal. Like even winning a race, it's like personal. Like who cares who actually wins a race? Like no one gives a shit.
Right.
It's just me that cares, and it's just the other person that cares.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to do good, and I feel like that's the general consensus all around. I don't feel a whole lot of like personal competition anywhere in Austin. Like I really do feel like it's uplifting
Right.
for each other.
Yeah, they and the beautiful thing about Austin is there's something for everybody. There's some
Absolutely.
different run group for everybody.
1000%.
Man, woman.
There's a different fitness group. There's like that those guys that put the people up on their feet and do acro yoga. Like there's so many communities here. Austin is a community hub, and to be whatever you want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's so many people, like a lot of people come here to get sober. They
Mhm.
come here to
I did.
treatment and stuff like that.
I did.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be in Austin,
Yeah.
Texan, any of that.
Mhm.
And so I'll talk to people and they're in treatment. And I'll be like, all right, so what's your plan? And they're like, oh, well, I'm going to go back, insert name of some podunk town somewhere in the country. And I'm like, why?
Why?
Like, look where you're at, man. Just take a
Mhm.
second. Then I'll start telling them about Town Lake. I'll start telling them about the communities that we have here.
Mhm.
It's like, man, take 3 months, 6 months.
Right.
Like, and they want to run back to this little place and go back to the same job, the same people, and expect this different outcome.
Right.
It's like you have the opportunity to tap into something very
Change
special in this
everything.
city.
Not even your sobriety, your whole life, the whole trajectory of your life.
Right. And I try to tell people, it's like, well, we don't have that stuff back there. I was
Right.
like, cool. I've been out to LA and seen them doing a lot of things we don't here, and I
Mhm.
borrowed that and brought it back here.
Exactly.
Borrow this shit and bring it back to where you're at. Start a
Yeah.
run group.
Right.
Start doing something.
Mhm.
Build that community. Nobody's, you know what I mean? Not all the times people are going to build it for you.
1000%.
But the running community, dude, is one of the biggest life cheat codes that I've
Huge.
ever found.
It
The
changed everything for me.
biggest, best network you will ever fucking find.
Now that and I actually remembered this a second ago, and you just reminded me again. But talk about network. Every single thing good in my life came from the running community.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, I met her in the running community. My mentors in real estate in the beginning, met him in the running community. My attorney, I met him in the running community. I have builders, developers, other attorneys that I've leaned on many, many times for mentorship. The guy that inspired me to even get into real estate was a runner.
Mm-hmm.
He sat me down and we talked for a couple hours, and then he told me the real stuff about it and how hard it was going to be, and I said, I'm in. I think, and this might be unique to Austin, but any resource I'll ever need is in our running community.
Dude, my dentist is from the running
Exactly.
community.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you can't say enough about it, and it's just trying to get people to get over that first hump to tap in. It's
Yeah.
like you have no idea.
No idea, dude.
No idea.
It was like what they told me. They told me this when I first got sober in about the 12 steps, but I will speak on it with running. Is you have no idea. If you sat here and imagined what your life would be like in 10 years, I couldn't have even, my best case, absolute craziest best case scenario wouldn't even scratch the surface of where I'm at today. Not a single chance. And that's with the running community as well. Like what if I had thought I could have never imagined it. Like where showing up to this run group for the first time, terrified, absolutely fucking terrified of everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
If I had known what it was going to be, I mean, obviously, there was just no way I could have known.
This is coming from one of the fastest men in Austin. He was still scared to show up to the run group.
Terrified.
Still fucking all that stuff, just like anybody else.
Everybody. Yo, dude. And when I first started, I thought I was just going to be a regular guy, like a regular runner. It wasn't until a couple years in that I was like, man, I keep getting better. I could maybe take this somewhere. But man, yeah, that I remember so clearly. I walked into the Loop Running Supply and I was terrified. I was like, I need some shoes and a watch, and can you point me in the direction of a run group? And I mean, they're still two of my best friends to this day from the owners of the Loop Running Supply, because I was just some fucking bum with a beard and long ass hair and like baggy shorts, and I was like, why did they help me?
Yeah.
Like, why did they? come on, let me show you. Like,
Right.
why do they do that? Because they're
Right.
good people, because they're runners.
Yeah.
They pointed me in the direction of Gilbert's Gazelles, and I never looked back. I showed up terrified, but I just came, and man, I'm so glad I did. Right?
Yeah, dude. It's supercharged not only my life, it's supercharged my recovery.
Everything.
Supercharged everything.
Yeah.
And I think about people that don't tap into that resource, and you're trying to get sober, you're trying to do these things. Like, bro, I showed up baggy basketball shorts, fucking thinking Nikes were like the best running shoes ever, only to find out Nikes. I mean, sorry Nike, if you want to sponsor me, that you're great running shoes. But, to the things that I didn't know, and I'm sitting there learning about and stuff like that, and then to take it a step further and go fall in with the trail running community, which I know you've dabbled in.
I'm new to the trail running. Yeah,
fuckers, you fast fucking road guys, come over to trail running.
No, come on, you remember what happened at my last trail race? Completely foolish for me to think I could go run a real trail. Like, I can do a trail race that's like Town Lake.
Right,
that's the trail
Very
race
different.
I can do. I went up into the mountains and I wrecked myself. My ankle shredded my ankle. I was out for 6 weeks after that.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
I thought you went out and performed really well. Or is, no,
No,
was the
I
opposite
dropped
of that.
out. I went and did a mountain race in Steamboat, Colorado, like, I don't know, 3 months ago.
Okay.
It was like August or maybe July. I think it was July, late July. I went to do this like mountain race, like literally the bottom of the race. It was a 50K. You run to the peak, you go out and back 15 miles, and then you come back down the mountain. I went up the mountain. As I was going up, I rolled my ankle once. I rolled it again on another one. I rolled it again. And then like the fourth time, I was running really fast downhill and I rolled it, and there was no coming back. It swelled up. It was purple. It was so fucked.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, yeah, foolish to think I could do that. I never practiced, right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
to your point, like
trail ankles are very different than
yeah,
road ankles.
no, I did not just go up in there and do well. It was pretty bad.
Dude, I tell everybody about the moment, and I'm curious if you had this moment. Was I started doing these races, and luckily I fell in with ultra runners, and they knew how to poke me, and so I went up pretty quick in distance. But
Yeah.
dude, I remember for so many years I'd introduce myself as Shawn the addict, Shawn the alcoholic, Shawn the dope fiend,
For
Shawn the
sure.
this. And then I went out and I ran 100K in Bandera, Texas. And I remember finishing that 100K, and I get this. I find out that I got a ticket to to Western States and all that stuff. And I just remember looking around. It was like, God damn, like I am capable of so much more than I've been giving myself credit for. Like that huge fucking
1000%.
win. Where it was like, I've never been the same since that day. I don't look at myself the same. You know what I mean? I look at myself very differently because now I know I have a glimmer of what I'm capable of.
I mean, before running, sobriety and recovery was my identity. That's all I talked about. I mean, it's very, very common. It's all I talked about with strangers. It's all I talked about to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I was proud of it, but like at the same time, I probably had some ego around it too. Looking back, but yeah, I mean, yeah, spot on. Oh, you're asking what moment?
Do you have that moment? Where
I don't
you
remember
kinda...
the exact moment, but there was absolutely a shift and it was huge because when I could shift from the identity of just being this recovered addict, I also was like, man, what else am I capable of? Like let me just backtrack a little bit. When I was using, I said it a lot that this is just how it's going to be. Like I had, after rehab, like 5 times or 4 times or something, I was like, this is never going to work. I'm never going to get sober. I'm going to be a heroin addict till the day that I die. Probably die of something to do with a heroin overdose or heart disease because of all the stimulants or whatever. And I was okay with it. I was like, I don't love the idea, but it's fine. Like I'm content, sitting here in my fucking bathroom shooting up all day, every day.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. And that's sad.
Yeah.
But sorry, to move back, identity and then recovery, I was fine with it. I was fine being the sober guy forever. Just that was what I brought to the table. Oh, I'm the sober guy. Like, yeah, I was a drug addict now and I got sober. That's all I had. Running made me think, well, that, and then it just kept going. Like, whew.
There's a gentleman I'm getting he's been involved in running, and he's gonna be running his first marathon for Austin Marathon.
Sick.
And he's a speaker. If he's listening to this, he knows who I'm talking about. But he's a very good speaker, and he goes and he tells his story. And like the punchline of his story is basically that he at some point he OD'd 5 times, and that's like the punchline to his story. And I was like, bro, like that's not the that's not the grand finale.
Mm-mm.
Like, you're not done yet.
Mm-mm.
And I was trying to get him to understand that. I was like, now how can you take this and go out and accomplish something something crazy, something that scares you, something where you could turn around and be like, look what the fuck I did. I was like, then there's your story. You just went from an OD'd fucking heroin addict that OD'd 5 times to running a fucking marathon.
Right.
Getting him to do something like that. And it was taking him a minute to understand that because he was so, I was like, bro, like every addict is OD'd.
I was going to say, he's not unique.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, we got sober. Like, now, when you're first taking a step out of like, I need to get sober, it's the most gargantuan fucking mountain ever.
For sure.
But it shouldn't be the top goal. Like,
No.
once you got sober, don't stop.
Right.
What are we capable of? What are we doing next?
And dude, honestly, if we can get sober, we can do anything. We can make $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this 1,000%. I had a better chance of making $1 billion than getting sober. There was no way I was going to do it. It is a true miracle. Like, without a doubt, a miracle. I can't explain it. I did what people told me, and that was it.
Yeah, bro, it's just getting that mind shift of being around the right people, getting those wins up under your belt. You know what I mean? Understanding you're capable of so much more, and then it could just take you to levels.
Right.
So somebody that's out there listening right now, they know who Mitch Ammons is. They know who you are today, right? And they've heard your story now, and they go back, but they're at that point where you were long ago. Like, what would your first advice be to them?
I mean, my advice to them, and my advice to someone who's 5 years sober, who's 10 years sober, who never had an issue and is just starting a career in the middle of the career. Every single day I wake up and I say, you know what? Whatever happens today, as long as I take one step in the right direction, growth, it's a win. It used to be one step in the right direction to make my sobriety better, right? Like, that was what it was for a long time. But now it doesn't even matter. Just one step in the right direction. As long as I'm moving forward every day, there's no way I can be stopped, right? Like, we have a long time in running. Just one more step in the right direction. In my career, just one more thing that's gonna grow my client base, that's gonna grow my sphere, that's gonna make me a better agent, that's gonna teach me something. Just one thing that day. If that's all I can do, just one thing. And then the days stack up, and maybe another day you do 5 things, and you do 10 things, and then you're growing, and then maybe you have like a little slump, and you're like, okay, just that one fucking thing. What am I gonna do today to make myself better? And if that's just like introducing myself to someone, just saying hi to someone, like that's something. That's in the right direction. Or if it's like the day that I just could not, I'm not gonna run today, but I just get out and run. I run 4 miles. Fuck it, just something. That's a step in the right direction. Over time, those little steps become giant steps, and the giant steps now become everyday habits. Like, just keep moving. And I said it earlier already, but if someone were to say, hey, 10 years ago, if someone were to say, hey, Mitch, you're sober now. You've been sober a few months. I want you to put down on paper in 10 years, absolute best case scenario of what your life could be. And they told me this. They told me this back then. They told me, you'll never imagine, you can't imagine it. That is just like such an under exaggeration. Like, there would have been no way, like, absolutely no way I could have thought this is where I would be.
No, I would have put myself at some very stable place, probably working a 9 to 5, whatever like that. Yeah, no fucking idea.
Couple of friends, maybe.
Yeah, dude. One of the things I think that translated for me, you know what I mean, especially if you're a heroin addict, if you've become accustomed to years of your life just sitting there writhing in fucking pain as you're sitting there withdrawing and going through that every day, I think a lot of us addicts in general, we're very comfortable being uncomfortable.
For sure.
You know what I mean? When we're in it. Now, the scariest thing in the world is knowing we're getting sick. You know what I mean? But so I think in running, that translated to, like, I'm willing to,
for sure,
a lot of distance runs and stuff like that. I'm willing to tap into some misery that a lot of other people aren't.
I agree.
And so I used to get a big kick, dude. And I'm just being honest. I used to get a big kick out of going out and doing well in some of these ultra marathons or running, winning, placing. And I'm looking around and it's like, man, I'm running against people that have been running their entire fucking lives.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm willing to go to a, you know what I mean, a place that other people aren't. And so
1,000%.
talking to people and getting them to understand, it's like, bro, trust me, I was never a fucking runner growing up. people look at you or look at me and they would say more, you're much more built like a runner than I. Just yesterday, someone's like, you ran 100 miles. You're not built like a runner. I was like, ain't that a motherfucker?
Yeah,
Like,
I love that.
We can get out there if you want to.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. But, yeah, dude, I think there's just so many translations to, so many translations. And then everybody, now don't get me wrong. I think running got me back to being who I was supposed to be.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, mentally and all that stuff. I don't think running gave me a huge boost to confidence. You know what I mean? I can go run 100 miles, but you walk in a room, nobody knows that. I think the gym is what got me my confidence back.
Okay.
People start looking at you a little bit differently.
I think just being good at something gave me confidence.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to know that I could do work towards something and get good at it. That gave me confidence. I wanted to touch on something you were saying just a second ago. I don't remember, so that's okay.
Being willing to do what other people aren't.
Oh, I remember the suffering. For those early in recovery, I've now been 10 years removed from drugs and alcohol. I can say it with complete confidence, and I've done some really hard things in sobriety, like the last man standing race. I ran for 30 hours and a total of 126 miles, and I only quit because I was fucking bored. Like, honestly, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I had felt worse in the middle of the night. I quit because I fucking was bored. I was mentally done. I was like, I don't want to go back out there. There's nobody out there. There's no fans. Everyone has left. It's just me and two other guys. These guys are going to run through the night, through the next night. I might as well just quit now because I could get third now or I could get third tomorrow. Like, but anyway, my point, that was the hardest thing I've done aside from getting sober. Nothing will be that hard.
Right.
If you've made it through those first fucking 30 days, those first 60 days, the first 90 days, man, it gets easier.
Yeah.
And nothing in my whole fucking life. My dad died, and I loved him so much. Nothing compared to getting sober. That was hard. It was sad. Didn't even faze me compared to getting sober. That was, dude, and I'm going to say this so that maybe someone can relate, but like, when I got sober, that first year, I was terrified of everybody. I couldn't look anybody in the eye. I'd walk into like a counter at a restaurant or at a coffee shop, and I was like terrified to just give them my order. Like, I was fucking terrified of people. I was afraid of what people were going to think about me. I knew they were judging me. I had zero self-confidence, zero self-esteem. I was fucking terrified, but that all left. And I think it helped. Like what we talked about in the beginning is those little wins. You stack up enough little wins and you're like, maybe I'm a winner. Like, maybe I'm a good person. Maybe people like me. Maybe I can talk to people. And I just tried. I put myself in uncomfortable situations. I got a job at a restaurant. Like, I knew that job would make me have to talk to people. And I got better at it. And then I moved into another job where I had to talk to people. Today, my job is all talking to people. Everything about my job is relationships and talking to people. And from where I came from, so my point, it's fucking awful at first and it's terrifying, but it gets better and it gets better and it gets beyond your dreams better.
Yeah.
As long as you just keep taking those little steps in the right direction.
Right. You made me think about something that I forgot to say earlier, and the other thing running did, and you know, like I was saying, we're comfortable being uncomfortable. It also gave me something to where, like, bro, go out and run a 100-mile race. Go out and run an ultra if you're not used to it. Run a marathon, whatever it is. The uncomfort you feel on that you're putting yourself through and pushing through you'll be able to draw on that in your daily life. And now all these things that happen to you that right now are fucking end of the world, sky is fucking falling, all of a sudden become not shit. Because you know you've been to such deep waters out there with what you've been doing before. It's like, oh, this ain't shit. Nothing. I ran a fucking 100 miles. I'll do this standing on my head.
Easy.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's such a metaphor for life.
For sure, a metaphor for life. Big time.
Hypothetically speaking, this is my favorite question to ask. I ask it every podcast.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, you're walking out tonight. You're fighting for the UFC championship. What is your walkout song? What is that one song? Get your blood pumping, ready to fucking go.
I have had this one song forever that I have always thought would be my walkout song.
Okay.
And it's Kid Ink.
Okay.
And it's called Hell and Back.
All right.
And he's basically saying, I've been from hell and back.
Love it.
And brother, we've been to fucking hell.
Yeah.
And we're back.
I don't think I've heard that one. I need to listen.
It's a great song. It is a walkout song for sure. I actually think I had a best friend in high school. He was a wrestler. He got into UFC fighting and after I had already thought it would always be my walkout song. Like, it's just like so perfect. That was his song.
Was
And
it?
yeah, this guy, he and I had a very special, I loved him so much. Like, probably my best friend in high school. We're still friends today. He's got a family and he owns a company and he's very successful in Dallas or in Fort Worth. But I named my dog after him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
I
He knows
did.
that, obviously?
Yeah, he knows it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother, I can't thank you enough. I know you're a busy man for taking the
no, man,
time. I'm
dude,
glad we finally got to sit down.
So happy to be here.
If you would, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I should have made you aware of this before we started the show. But the way we like to wrap up the show, everybody got to hear your story.
Yeah.
They know a little bit about Mitch Ammons now. But if you would be so kind of take a look in your camera and maybe throw out some I am statements that let them know who you truly are.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a friend. I'm a supporter. I'm a husband. I'm a hard worker. And I'm disciplined as fuck.
Let's go.
You know, dude, habits. When I was using, it was all habits.